the podcast where we talk about all things nerdy and a lot of life lately.
Yeah, just life in general.
Yeah, just three guys having a conversation, I guess.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. So I'm your host Ryan, and I'm joined by
Charlie
and Nathan.
Hey, can you turn me up my headphones just a touch?
Which one?
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah, can I get some headphones? Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Hey,
there we go.
You guys just sound so good. I want more.
So what have you guys been up to?
Man, Diver Down was pretty good on Friday. Trent and I DJ'd that together, and we did for the most part, we did like a tag set where we were trying to like outdo each other. It was awesome.
It got a little funky towards the end.
It did get a little funky towards the end. Had a great time. Had a little too much Veltons, and we ended up going to Bracken's afterward, and I got there. I got like halfway through a home style and was like, I'm out of here. Can't be in public. And I started to walk back to the pub, called Lyft while I was doing it. And when I got there, I realized I didn't have my keys. And so I had to sit under the deck of the back porch of the pub in the rain and wait for my Lyft drive.
I wish like I could have just like been driving by and seen that, like just Nate just kind of huddled
straight up. Yeah, man, because I had that hoodie.
This was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, easily 2 a.m. And I was pissed because I had 2 comics I just bought of Ice Cream Man. I don't know if you're familiar with that comic. It's pretty cool. I just recently got into it, but I had 2 copies that I just bought that I wanted to read. I was like, I'm going to read these comics while I'm waiting on the Lyft driver if it wasn't pouring rain and if I could get into my car, which I couldn't do. So it sucked, but I had a good time. I just didn't feel good.
Were there any
up.
like lights out there or anything, or
Nah, man. And I kind of like when I saw how close the Lyft driver was getting, I just kind of started to walk up because I was like, I'm just going to come out of the shadows.
Yeah, I wonder what that looked like to the Lyft driver. Just like some
yeah.
Oh shit, here he is.
I'm sure they've got to be used to it if they're picking someone up at 2 a.m. that it's not going to be a normal person.
Yeah, it's almost like should you put in a note to your driver or something? It's like, I'm wasted.
I assume that they know at between 2 and 4 in the morning it's just going to be drunk people.
Yeah, picking you up from a bar that's been closed for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I ended up talking to him about D&D and stuff. I always try to strike up a convo with my driver because I'm trying to keep my rating up, my rider rating up. So and I got a 5, pretty proud of that.
Nice.
But he totally looked like a gamer. Like he looked like the comic book guy from The Simpsons as a human.
Okay.
And so I immediately just went into comics. I was like, yeah, man. I was hoping I could get into my car. I told him the whole story that I just told you guys. And I was like, but I was wanting to read these comics, and he's like, "Oh, which ones?" And I told him, and then we went in from there. He's like, "Yeah, I don't really read much comics." And I told him about Golden Age up the street, and I was like, "Okay, he doesn't read comics. I bet he plays D&D." So I brought that up, hit
Done.
it,
Nice,
sold,
pegged him.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to. I mean, working and stuff, and
Cool.
Yeah, that whole work thing.
Yeah,
Woof.
I haven't seen much of you, Charlie.
No, yeah, we're about to get ramped up into like the holiday and Thanksgiving stuff as well. So like the leaves are changing. Everybody's wanted to like stay at the lodge or like eat there. So it's just
how are the leaves there right now? Like,
really nice actually. Like down the winding woods or the winding road. Looks really cool. That's like just like the kind of little side path between like the college campus and the actual lodge property. It's just like a tiny little road just like surrounded by trees. It's really cool. We do a lot of like wedding ceremonies out there.
Yeah, I did the photo shoot out there and I heard the music.
Yeah. that night was pretty fun. That DJ. We have like a number of like wedding DJs that come there. Like some are like really tame and reserved, but some of them are just like wild. Like they'll get up and like show everybody how to like line dance, like the like the electric slide, and like all the like. There's so many songs out there that like have dances that go to them that I didn't even realize.
Oh God, yeah.
It makes me feel like an old dude, like Old Town Road, like that. That's cool. That doesn't have a dance affiliated with it, but there's like newer songs than that have like certain kind of moves that you do to it, and I'm like, I can't even floss, guys.
Yeah, who determines these dance moves? Is it the artist that makes it?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
It could
the
be
music
like
video, I guess.
Maybe music video. It could just be like the culture surrounding it, or it could be just like people on TikTok just bored and making a dance and getting viral memes out of it.
Flossing is one of the funniest dances I've ever seen in my life, and it's really hard to do. Like, I can do it if I like do it extremely slow.
Yeah, like halftime, like the Charleston. Like Randy can do that like nobody's business, but I can't for the life of me. I'm just not that coordinated.
It takes a ton of coordination.
Emily makes fun of me. Emily makes fun of me because I have one dance move. And that's just the dad move.
The dad move, like those Bill Cosby, Charlie Brown kind of dances. I love doing those, man.
Oh, yeah.
Takes no skill.
She gets embarrassed because when we're out in public, I'll start doing it. I get diver down. I was doing it, and she was like,
"Oh man,
just quit it."
I don't remember the pictures from Diver Down of David and Ed dancing on the carpet up there.
Emily took
That's probably
those,
why I was sitting down.
Yeah, Emily took those. I think I was in the bathroom, but she said that they had a dance-off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I got a lot of good like emotion pictures, like just of people having fun.
Yeah, man.
I liked those.
Yeah, some really cool expressions that I saw through those photos.
Yeah, Trent really liked the one of the home style. He was like, "Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
this is a good one." And then the sign, stuff like that, totally good.
Yeah, I went on the Public House Facebook page that nobody takes care of, and just went through and just suggested a bunch of edits. And
oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, like I put that picture of the Public House as like a profile picture suggestion because there's not even a profile picture on there.
Oh man, that's cool. He'll probably take a look at that. He does like everything, so I'm sure Facebook hasn't been like the top priority, but it should be. It should help.
There's only 3 reviews on there.
Oh really?
Yeah, you need to start working on that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Facebook pages aren't as important as they were. Like right now, it's just like if you pull up on Google, they'll have like all the information there too. It's basically just a means of like contact. The website is probably the best way to like showcase what you got.
Well, he keeps up with the events on Facebook. He makes those. I get like a suggestion. Like,
okay, yeah. If you're active on events, then you probably need to have them.
He's been using Instagram a lot too. That's how I am. I hardly ever check Facebook.
I have to.
If I get messages, that's it.
Yeah, I have to make a effort to post pictures on my photography Facebook.
Yeah,
I mainly just use Instagram.
Right. It's a good medium or a good avenue, I would say.
I just think Instagram's just more personal. You don't get a bunch of retweets or shares of like a bunch of stupid stuff that you don't care about.
Yep. I love it. I'm not really big into Twitter at all for that reason.
Have you been on our podcast Twitter at all?
Not recently.
I haven't been on it in like 3 months.
Randy said that she's wanted to do more with it too, so she's going to have a renewed vigor into it. Sweet. Hopefully soon. Yeah, I'm really only on Twitter to follow my brother. He probably has one of the weirdest and funniest Twitters out there. Talks about Swamp Thing and Garfield and all sorts of good stuff. Getting honked up for Garfield, as one say. Yeah. Baldwin knows what I'm talking about.
I've seen all of his Garfield art. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's definitely one of a kind. I haven't seen many pieces out there like it.
So, I finally finished this House of X
series.
Powers of X series. It finally wrapped up. It's a good story. It's probably one of my favorite comic book series I've read.
And it just
Yeah,
keeps
same
going
here.
too,
Yeah.
like right into X-Men, right?
I didn't even know that. He's like, yeah, like he gave me that one, and then
X-Men number
X-Men
1.
Yeah.
he pulled up this X-Men number 1, and he's like, yeah, I got this new series too. And I was thinking it was just another series, another story, but it's just a straight up continuation.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
launches
it's like
right out of it. Yeah.
more like a. I would say like House of X and Powers of X is like chapter 1, and this is chapter 2.
Right.
Straight up, man. Yeah. And, so the whole Dawn of X is what we're in now, and that's X-Men, Marauders, Excalibur, and X-Force, and I think there's one called Fallen Angels.
There's a bunch of names I
and
saw in the back of
and
the
one
book.
called there might be New Mutants, might have some stuff in there, but I'm pretty excited about it. And all these are like monthlies, but they drop like a week after each other, so it's like I still got a comic to pick up every week,
Right.
which is cool. So other than this, I'm reading like Savage Avengers, which we've talked about, which is pretty awesome. But that's a monthly.
I'm gonna try and get into that new Carnage one. I'm gonna go.
Oh,
Down.
Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm probably gonna go down to Golden Age and see if they got that.
Yeah, they do, and that's like a huge, like almost like Marvel Universe wide kind of like thing that's going on right now. It's pretty cool.
I've always liked Carnage.
Yeah,
and
Carnage
Venom.
has just always just been a super sinister, like kind of villain. Just like no rhyme or reason to it. He just looks really badass too.
I think it'd be cool to see like Carnage take over Deadpool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Crazy.
That would be cool.
Well, there's just like a lot of things that the symbiote has paired with in the first place, right? Like, what's like some of the weirder things? Like, there's a
The Incredible Hulk that just happened.
That was in a cartoon as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I saw that on it was like Venom kept jumping from Avenger to Avenger as they were fighting him.
Oh man!
And then eventually he got to the Hulk, and it was like game over.
Oh God!
Yeah, how do you get out of that?
You don't.
No. Yeah. Kiss your ass goodbye.
It was okay. It was one of the newer cartoons that was kind of geared towards like 12-year-olds. So it wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
It was just on TV when I was surfing.
There's a new Hulk series that's it's not new. It's been out I think since 2018 called Immortal Hulk. I haven't been reading any of it, but I've kind of kept up with it on that Comic Books Explained YouTube. He was talking about it recently. That shit's getting wild, so I think I might start to get into that.
I was reading the first 2 like novels of, I think it was called Indestructible Hulk, and it was like him versus like Red Hulk.
Awesome.
And I think Grey Hulk was in there as well.
Ooh.
It was basically just page after page of just destruction.
It's a whole lot of meat. Just a bunch of Hulks.
Yeah, he basically just in Immortal Hulk just became like Cosmic Hulk, and it's insane looking. It's like I thought that World Breaker Hulk was like the god tier Hulk, and no, there's Cosmic Hulk now.
Damn, man, I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
What's it called?
Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk.
And I think they're in like the 30-something book of it right now. I don't know if it's a monthly or a weekly. I think it's monthly. But it's been going on since 2018. So
I just need to go down and spend some time at the comic book store. When we were at McKay's, I had Emily and my 5-year-old and my 4-year-old with me, so I didn't get to actually browse. It was more just wrangling the kids.
I hear you.
I got to look through the vinyls a little bit, but when we got to the comic books, it was more like, get back here.
Oh, we gotta go now.
Running away.
Yeah, especially with those comic books being like so close to all those toys and everything at McKay's, I'm sure.
Well, they put all the comic books upstairs now.
Oh, really?
All the comic books and the music stuff is upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And then they had like a bin that was like the size of this table that was just all Magic the Gathering cards that you just had to like browse through. But
nice.
McKay's, I mean, McKay's is good for getting books, but anything other than books, I feel like they're completely overpriced.
I could.
They're like
I would agree.
They're like up there with like Hastings prices.
Yeah, I can't roll with that.
Yeah, I took two giant bins full of just books, and got $47.
Ugh.
But I could have got $108 in credit, but I was so mad I didn't want to spend money there.
Just give me my cash and I'll go.
Yeah, I thought about just selling them all separately on Amazon. I could have made like a lot, at least like 600.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they've been sitting in my shed for like 2 years.
Yeah,
I've got all my favorite ones right there. So
yeah,
got the good ones.
mm-hmm.
Red.
I don't know.
So close to beating it.
I've been playing it a little bit less and less. I've got 69 hours of playtime.
Oh wow.
I think.
Yeah.
man.
Games like that, I'll just like, if I'm like not in any dire danger or anything, I'll just like let my character sit there while I go like, you know, to the bathroom or fix some lunch or something. So my hours are always a little skewed in games like that. But it's funny to see. Oh shit! I've played 120 hours of Mario Kart. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was looking over my friends list on Switch the other day, and just seeing like all my friends. Like you have basically on the Switch, like you can show like your profile and it says, you know, you've played this game for so many hours, this game for so many hours. Like I found out Baldwin played like Mario Odyssey for like 96 hours. He's got logged. So you can tell like which games people really like and which games they don't like. It's like logged 5 minutes on.
That's hilarious. You could call him up, be like, "So, man, what you been doing? Playing Mario Odyssey?
Right?
96 hours worth?
I see you.
Yeah,
I see you over there.
It's the same on Steam as well.
Oh, really?
And you can go to like each game and see like who's been playing it the most.
Right. Yeah, I realized it's like, you know what, I'm going to change my privacy to friends only. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't want strangers seeing how much game time I play. You pulling your hours up right now?
63 hours on Rad.
63 on Rad. What about oh man, what game do you think you've logged the most hours on? Well, there's Final Fantasy. You played a lot.
Yeah, but I played that on I played that on
Console.
Yeah, on PS4.
Same with Warframe.
Mm,
Or was Warframe on the?
Warframe was on here and on PS4.
Okay. Red.
So far, it's Rad. 63. Risk of Rain 2 is at 27.
Okay.
But a lot of the games I've deleted.
I gotcha. You've been playing games with Adam, or you talked to Adam here lately?
Not really. I've just been too busy.
Right.
Or they've been playing Destiny 2.
Okay.
And they've been doing like the raids and stuff. And
that's like free to play now or something, isn't it?
The base game, you have to buy the expansions, which is what they did, which is like another $60.
Oh, okay.
And then the raids are so hard that you have to like dedicate like a lot of time, and
like half a day too.
Yeah, and they play late at night, so I just don't have time to.
I hear you.
Let's see if Warframe's on here. I want to see what my hours on Warframe is.
Yeah, once I'm done with Rad, I don't know what game I'm going to be moving on to next.
I'm waiting for Cyberpunk to come out.
Dude, yeah, that'll be next year.
272 hours on record.
272.
But I actually played more on PS4.
Okay.
I probably had about
So we're talking at least 600 hours.
Yeah, at least.
Damn. I mean, that's some dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Props. Yeah, Cyberpunk's going to be really cool. There's a new game that came out recently that's done by people from Obsidian, or it's called The Outer Limits. It's basically like kind of like Fallout in space. And half of it's like dialogue centered, so it's you build relationships, and from what I've heard, it's like kind of like a class conflict kind of simulator. The story is like you've woken up from like a 70-year sleep in like this one like distraught like cruiser that got lost, and like somebody found you, and like you're like surrounded by like all these like great thinkers and philosophers and whatnot, but like he only had enough resources to like wake you up. So, and you're kind of like thrown in like this conflict between like this ruling class and this one colony versus like the workers, and like there's a lot of like gray area for both, and it's up to you to kind of like direct and kind of navigate the destiny of these two groups.
That sounds really cool.
It does sound really neat. You have like a little ability to kind of like slow time. Like, so like in the previous Fallout games, have you guys played any Fallout? Like Fallout 4 or anything?
A little bit.
You could like go in like to the little VAT system where you can like aim at target a certain body part, like either blind them or, you know, disable them. A little bit more role play centered as opposed to like Fallout or whatnot. So it's like
Sweet.
a lot of like you got to roll for like if you have like the success or something like that. So this is like a game that you would definitely put like a easy 100 hours into.
It sounds pretty interesting, but not quite my type of game.
Yeah,
Sounds like right up your alley, though.
it would be, and that's what makes me like a little apprehensive, is because I know I would spend a lot of time on this game that I don't necessarily have right now.
What platform is that on?
I think it's on all platforms, like
Nice.
PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
You're on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Have you played Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves? Check it out.
It's something that you can like pick up and play for a night, and then just drop it for as long as you want.
Oh, okay.
It's basically this really big map, and it makes you feel like an actual pirate.
Okay.
Like, you can get,
You have your own ship, and you just
yeah.
So
basically
buy a
go
bottle of rum and play this game.
Well, yeah.
Yar.
Did you can get drunk in the game?
What?
Yeah, and you like can't move, and like the screen gets all crazy.
Dude, that's awesome.
But you go on like different quests where you get like a treasure map, and you have to like find the island on your map, and then like navigate to it, and then find the buried treasure, and then you'll end up fighting like skeletons or like, you know, pirate bosses. But at the same time, there's other players in this world with their own ships, and if they come across you, they can choose to attack you and steal all your treasure.
take your booty.
Man,
Yeah.
taking my booty.
And you can choose to either fight them or try and run. And
This
really,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun when you fight them, because you'll spend like 15 minutes circling each other trying to like attack, and then
vying for position.
and then at some point you guys will actually get close enough, like to where you can jump on each other's ship, and then you fight like with your sword and pistol and try and kill them. And then as soon as you kill them, you got to run and like grab their treasure and like throw it overboard so you can get it before they respawn.
I've seen a couple of videos. It seems like a
Man.
pretty mad scramble
Yeah.
sometimes.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
And there's like this there's like, it's really easy to troll people on it, because in order to like collect your bounty from the treasure, you have to take it to one of the ports and then turn it into like the merchant. And when you're carrying the treasure, you can't use your weapons or anything, and you move slower. So
oh, man.
people will actually like get on enemy ships and hide and wait for them to go to port, and when they get off of port, they'll just kill them all right before they get to the merchant. Then they'll pick it up and turn it in themselves.
Oh, man. So this is like you play it online with people?
Yeah, it just drops you randomly, and there's like different boats that you can choose. You know, you've got your 1-man boat, your 2-man boat, and then your 4-man boat. The 4, you know, and each one is like, the 4-man boat is like the big ass ship with like, you know, tons of cannons. It's real slow. It has like 3 sails, and everybody has to like work in unison to like move the sails and steer and drop the anchor and raise the anchor.
Oh, man.
And then like the single one is, you know, you've got 1 sail that you have to take care of.
Right. Really fast and agile, but
yeah.
not much firepower.
one like little cannon.
Are you on
each
headsets
side.
or anything during this game with your players
You can be,
and
yeah.
speaking in pirate language?
Dude, the more you play it,
Oh
the
my
more you actually end up using words like starboard and port, and like it makes you feel like you're actually like it's very immersive.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you become
I'm
more
check that out.
nautical.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves sounds really good. Yeah, if I had an Xbox, that would be definitely one of the ones that I
Yeah,
would get.
and if you've got the Xbox Game Pass, it's free.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that, but I've been thinking about
It's like $5
picking it
a
up.
month.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is fun, and there's no level advantage. Leveling is all cosmetic.
Oh, right on.
So
Level 1 character is just as
yeah,
formidable as a level 99.
yeah. All swords do the same amount of damage. There's like 3 different guns you can choose from. You got your sniper, your pistol, and your shotgun, and they all do the same damage across the board. But as you level and buy gear and stuff, you get fancier and fancier looking. Like, you start in rags with like no shirt, and then you slowly add a feather,
Get all
hat,
trussed up
and,
and
yeah.
like a nice jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And then you do the same to your ship. Like, you can customize the sails. They start like white with patches in them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like paint
Black sails.
Yeah, paint your boat cool looking. Add like the mermaid in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
Cool.
Change
Chrome it out.
Chrome it out.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. drop your
But
ship a
you
little
know,
bit.
a lot of times, even without other players, it's really fun just to go on these treasure hunts and quests. There's 3 different kinds you can do. You can do like your treasure maps. You can do your fetch quests, and then like your assassinations,
Mm-hmm.
where you go and like hunt like a pirate skeleton.
Oh, nice.
But they're totally fun to do. Like, there's tons of different little islands peppered all over the sea, and you can explore the islands and find like treasure and stuff like hidden in little places. And
Is there any like survival element to it? Like, do you have to like eat food or like drink water or anything like that?
and if you get hurt, you eat bananas.
Okay, bananas heal you.
Yep.
Okay.
Right on.
But yeah, there's barrels and stuff all over the islands that are filled with supplies. Like, if you run into an island accidentally in your boat, or you get shot, you'll actually start taking on water, and you've got to go down into the boat and patch the hole before you sink, and then you have to get your bucket and like bail it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's all sorts of fun things you can do in that game. But since there's no level advantage, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You get on for a night, do a couple quests,
Yeah.
and then, play
That's
when you
cool.
want.
Makes it fair
Mhm.
for everyone, I think.
That's all the time we have for today.
Oh
Cool.
man.
All right. Bye, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.